Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the chair yoga class. Every week I teach this chair class and I weave an inspirational theme into it. And this week we're working with the theme of depth. And let's go ahead and we'll get started and center ourselves, and then I'll read some inspirational quotes on depth, and then we'll get into the practice. So just notice how you're sitting in this chair. Is there energy? Can you create energy from the floor, from your feet, lifting upwards, and then all the way to your seat? And then notice, can you lift way up and engage your spine, right? So it's supported from the front. Let's go ahead and close the eyes for a moment. And can you connect to that pelvic floor, like engage those muscles? We call that mula, root, bandha, lock. And then above that, below the belly button, pull the belly in and up. And we call that Uddiyana Bandha, and that means flying upward. And then at the top of the spine, you can go ahead and just draw the chin down. And we call that Jalandhara Bandha, or chin lock, and that seals in the energies of the bandhas. And then with the bandhas engaged, you might be able to let go of the hands and just sit up really tall. And now from this seated position, nice and supported, let's focus on the breath. We'll go to the depths of the breath. So inhale fully. See if you can visualize and maybe even feel how that diaphragm expands, allowing the ribs to expand. And then as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and the ribs follow. So inhale, focusing on unrestricted breath. Inhale and exhale. And do that one more time. Big inhale and exhale. And now let's take the hands together in prayer position. We'll vibrate an Om, and then I'll recite the inspirational quotes. So taking a breath in. To reach a great height, a person needs to have great depth. It's not the length of life, but the depth of life. Life is too deep for words, so don't try to describe it, just live it. On the surface, the water is turbulent, with waves crashing and winds howling, but deep beneath, the ocean is calm and undisturbed. So I love how we can go deep into our postures, not only just by physically finding the end of a posture or the extreme of it, but by centering and connecting with breath and inner strength, and even using a chair for support, we can go to great depths. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Take a moment, notice, are you sitting up? So we'll sit straight up, and then we're gonna reach the arms as far as you can, and reach, inhale, and then exhale, reach out. So we move with breath. Big breath in, inhale, and exhale, reaching out. One more, just like that. So take a big breath in, reaching up. And now we're going to take a side bend. So we start to bend to the right. You can take your right hand down for a moment and see if you can maybe use that hand to guide your body a little deeper in this side bend, rolling your right shoulder away from your right ear. Now we're going to take the head and gently just look down. And then from there, notice what's going on in the side body. And then inhale here, gently look straight ahead. And then maybe you could stay here, but maybe you could gaze down the nose and turn the head up and just feel what's going on there. And then inhale and rise up. Now we'll go to the other side. So inhale, really reaching. And now you're gonna really feel this right side body as we bend, side bend over to the left. Reaching, inhale here, rolling that left shoulder away from the left ear, looking down for a moment, breathing. So I think we get the most depth When we breathe and we connect inward, and then we reach outward, and then a nice turn. So it's an integration, inhale, of everything working together. And then let's go ahead and turn. We're gonna try some of these supported standing poses. So we'll start with this lunge. And I want you to try and find this back leg so that the tail, you feel an engagement under the butt to take the tail under, so we get a nice stretch right on the hip flexors here. And then from here, you can even use your hand to support that. See if you can straighten and then bend again. And as you straighten, try not to let the butt go back. See if you can keep a sense of tucking under a little bit. The stretch will be intense. It's a deep, deep, nice stretch. And then straighten yourself to a place where you can stay for a moment. And let's reach up. And let's go to the full extent of this pose. Inhale, lift up to go back. Up to go back. Everything's engaged. You're going deep. Inhale, but you're supported. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then inhale, rise up. And now we're gonna go to warrior two. So we just turn the feet. The back foot turns out and the front foot is turned out. You might need to adjust to try and make this right angle. And from here, we're just gonna keep everything facing this way for now. And then just gently, don't do anything, but just turn the head and breathe. It's a strong warrior pose. Inhale and exhale. Just stay connected to the breath. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to take it into Virasana, side angle. And so we circle this arm, and I'm supporting myself on here. I'm not sinking, right? And reach. And you could take your gaze straight ahead, or if it felt okay, you could look up. Breathing, finding the depth of the breath, allowing it to resonate throughout the pose, breathing. And then we'll inhale here and rise up, and we'll go to the other side. So starting with the lunge, we turn, bend the back knee to start, and notice, can you engage these under the butt muscles as you straighten the leg, but don't let the butt go back, right? So try that again and really straighten the leg as best you can. And then hold that there and try to keep that tail under so you're feeling a nice lengthening in these hip flexors. And then from there, let's go ahead and reach the arm up and lift up to go back. So everything's working. You're supported from inside out. Inhale, exhale, so you can go deep as your body wants to go today. And then inhale, rise up. And then from here, we're just gonna turn for warrior two. So the back foot turns in a little bit, the front foot turns out. I'm facing this way, facing you, and then I just turn my head, keeping the lift, so the support from inside out to make this pose really full, and breathe. And then from here, we're gonna take it into Virasana. So we circle. It's a side angle pose. Make sure you're not sinking, you're lifting, supported, breathing, inhale. And exhale. You could gaze straight ahead, or if it felt okay, turning the head, and then inhale, we'll rise up. And now we'll come to goddess pose. Let's start with a forward bend though. So inhale, exhale, coming deep into this forward bend, and you're trying to open the knees. And just see where you go with that. I'm trying to stick my butt out and keep my spine long here. See how you do there. And then inhale, rise up. And now we'll take it into the upright position. So really, I'm focusing on opening the knees and lifting up. A lot of lift. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. And now we'll take the feet a little closer together, and we're gonna work on coming to stand. So you can just use your hands for support, but try to take most of the work into your legs and into the glutes. So we hinge forward, right? Hinge forward, lengthen your spine. Make sure your butt's not tucked under. You're lengthening your low spine. You could use your hands and rise up. If everything went well, we'll come back down. You can use your hands, and then we'll do it again. So you're reaching the butt back and really using the legs and rising up. And then one more time, deep hinge in the hip, right? Nice and deep, and rise up. And then from here, we're gonna come into a standing pose, which is Trikonasana or triangle pose. We'll turn the left foot in and the right foot out, and we'll reach the arms. And then take a breath in and exhale, and take your right hand down to the chair and really open the shoulders. And I'm pulling this right butt back, right? And then turning the ribs. So I'm turning the right ribs up to the ceiling, rolling the shoulders back. And if it feels good, you can gaze up or gaze straight ahead. And then inhale, rise up. We'll go to the other side. So turn the right foot in and the left foot out. Feel a nice sense of lift here. And you can reach as you come over into Trikonasana. And breathe. So I'm turning the left ribs up, breathing. And you can look straight ahead, or maybe you want to gaze upward. It's down the nose and the head turns upward. And then inhale, rise up. Now we'll come back down to the chair. So inhale here. Maybe you can reach your arms forward. Maybe you want to reach back and come down. And then we'll take the feet in parallel and we'll reach the arms up. One more time. And then from here, I want you to get a nice sense of lift. As you really lift the sternum, see if you can go back and lift up and go back and lift up and find a nice back bend here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then let's exhale and slowly let everything come back down. And then from here, let's go ahead and we're gonna come into a nice cat-cow. So we're just gonna round the spine and come forward just to move the spine a little, arch, and then round and come up. We'll do that again. Round the spine and come forward. Inhale, round the spine and come up. And then from here, let's go ahead and come into a nice glute stretch. So let your right leg come up, and then we'll open the knee out to the side, trying to align the ankle and the knee as best you can. Once you've established that, sit up and we're trying to externally rotate or open that right hip out and sit up as tall as you can. If you want to and it's accessible, you could come forward, breathing, and rise up. And then we'll go to the other side. So letting the left leg come up, take a moment, turn the leg out, try to get your ankle over your knee as best you can, and then sit up. And we're trying to externally rotate or open that left knee out and sit up at the same time. And then from there, if it's accessible, you could come forward. You could have your hands here too. And then rise up. And then from here, we're gonna come into a twist. So we'll just turn to the right, sit up really tall, and we're just gonna turn the left ribs to the right and sit up as tall as you can. Inhale, turn the left ribs to the right. Maybe your head goes to the right too, and breathe. Don't force, just let it go. You can go deep just by breathing, inhaling, and exhaling, letting the breath bring you around. Draw the shoulders down. Inhale here, we'll come back to the center and we'll go to the other side. So taking a breath in, lifting up, and then exhaling, turning the right ribs to the left. And then taking your head as you can. So you're breathing in, inhale, exhale, let the breath bring you around. One more, inhale, going deep with the breath. Exhale, the right ribs turn to the left. And then inhale here, we'll come back to the center. And then we'll come into a nice deep forward bend. So scoot to the edge of your chair and sit up tall. Maybe you're already getting a stretch. You notice I'm pulling my toes back a bit so I get the calves too. And if you're already getting a stretch here, stay here. But if it's accessible to you, you want to go deeper, you're hinging at the hips. So my spine is not rounded. I'm really lifted and I'm engaged in my low back. Go where you can in your body. Make sure you try to straighten your legs. And then maybe some of you could take your hands down, or you could keep them here.
Keep lengthening. At some point, just drop the head so you feel deep in the hips, a deep crease, and come over as far as you can. And breathe. Stay here and breathe. Deep inhalations. Go deep. Find all that depth as you exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Forward bends are all about release. So hopefully you found that. Let's come to our closing now. So just take a moment and notice. Close the eyes. Can you sit with ease and go deep, deep into that connection of breath and posture, and let this depth resonate in everything you do. Namaste.